oil spill. The New York Times article, "This Spreading Thing" by Brian Walsh, provides a bitter outline attack on those at fault regarding the recent BP oil spill. Finger pointing dominates the article and reveals a common cultural trend running throughout America in the face of a string of recent scandals, recklessness, and trying world issues. In recent years, recall the Madoff scandal, the serious bailouts, plummeting market, the war on terror, Katrina, and the Great Tsunami, in the face of such a devastating loss. Arguing that such catastrophes will inevitably happen again unless change is made. The article criticizes three major elements as being accountable for the recent BP oil spill: from Deepwater Horizon, regulatory failure, industry recklessness, and the engine which fuels it. The American consumer with an appetite for low energy costs and cheap gas as the pump. However, while the article examines these elements, it fails to comprehensively and realistically acknowledge the oil industry, both domestically and internationally, and the overall effect stifling domestic productivity in the Gulf of Mexico will have on both American and world safety. With countries around the globe stepping up their presence in deepwater drilling, America will not do itself or the world justice by sitting on at the sidelines. Walsh's article clearly appeals to the general American public, who remain outraged over the recent catastrophe. The tone of finger pointing and blame placing resonates throughout the article, satisfying the reader's disconnect by providing easy answers through oversimplification of the issues. The Dirty Dozen, a two-page spread, lists the top 12 at fault, depicting a montage of government officials and large corporation executives. With quick blurbs featured below each image, Walsh reflects current cultural phenomena. Americans want quick and easy accountability, a face with a name. Feeling they have become alienated with the large industrial, societal, and economical forces that affect them and largely determine their fate, Walsh appeals to their emotions by bringing them, once again, face to face with the perpetrators. As commented on today's show, even President Obama wants to know whose ass to kick. However, no single one person has committed this act single-handedly, but by individually and oversimplifying the blame, a scapegoat is created and satisfies the public. With Walsh adding, "There's plenty of ass kicking to go around." He echoes the public's outrage and makes the situation more palatable in his argument by giving Americans easy reference and attack points as outlets for frustration. Being able to relate to a personal anecdote from the article further aids in Walsh's attempt for emotionally inspired derived support. Readers feel impassioned hearing about the third-generation shrimper who, because of this bill, had become exiled out of his inherited livelihood due to the closing of fisheries. The article continues to examine the recent oil spill, highlighting the specific tragedies of the coastal communities affected, where pictures of oil-covered wildlife tell the tragedy witnessed by many innocent animals of the region. With the well continuing to leak, the public was outraged as it continued to destroy the coastal communities and added fuel to the fire. BP CEO at the time, Tony Hayward, commented that he would just like his life back. That is exactly what the other 14 million people that reside by the oil spill want as well. Walsh embodies American public sentiment. The general public, like fishermen, always want feelings dwarfed by the giant corporations, by the mega corporations who always seem to take procedures. And Walsh's argument thus gains in favor as he accurately embodies this American public sentiment However, among all the emotionally charged slander and name-calling, the argument and its heated enthusiasm fails to relate to today's recent catastrophe with the larger picture moving into the future. While this was fundamentally a failure of government to govern, the present evidence is overwhelmingly emotionally based, highlighting NMS officials being in bed with energy companies, taking bribes, using drugs, accepting gifts, and having sexual relationships with energy company representatives. Walsh is pushing for emotional rather than intellectual responses throughout his argument, fostering disconnect between the oil industry and the general public. As a disconnect manifests, it will unfortunately stifle entry into drilling by barrier regulations, reducing safety for all. Walsh's argument exposes the fallacies of current American culture, the obsession with being able to find who is to blame and alleviate this overwhelming and overpowering feeling sense of anxiety. However, these simple, trouble-free answers are impossible and are unfeasible when we are dealing with such complex issues as today. But nonetheless, Walsh, throughout this article, supplies hasty retorts to ease the public's uncertain insecurities without stopping back to look at the broader picture. Regulatory change is needed. However, there is a critical and fine line. While Walsh argues a move towards less reliance on oil and deeper water drilling, he inadvertently fails to recognize the current capabilities of our economic and industrial systems. Any regulation that limits domestic production, causes companies to go elsewhere, is going to just inflate the price of oil up, creating yet another enormous burden to productivity on the United States' economy. As history has dictated, the more reliant and dependent we are on the foreign importation of oil, the more reliant and unsafe our economy and environment and safety is. The cultural phenomenon, coupled with heart-rending images and destruction that this specific oil spill causes, wanting clear answers, but blinds our reasoning. In that way, Walsh is satisfying our current culture of consumerism, and in this way is further spreading his own disdain of ignorance as well.
That